For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? So likewise ye, except ye utter by the tongue words easy to be understood, how shall it be known what is spoken? For ye shall speak into the air.
Standing of the times knew what Israel ought to do. You can't perceive or discern this trumpet. How are you going to discern the trumpet, Thessalonians, when the great trump comes? Those who will remain will be caught up to be with the Lord in the air, the great rapture. Friends, the Lord is saying we've got to have the right sound in this hour, the right pitch, the right synchronicity, the right harmony. You know, the little strange about music can be played so loud to an incredible volume, but if it's not in pitch, if it's in perfect pitch, it's unoffensive to the naked ear. At the same time, music can be played at a low volume, but if it's not in harmony or not in pitch, it's very, it's like scratching a chalkboard with fingernails. It's terrible, you know. So we've got to make sure we're in the right sync with the Lord, the right pitch. We're blowing the right harmony with the trumpet of the Lord. Now, before I continue,
he has compared it to flutes and harps, lifeless instruments, producing a series of random notes in random order. That is not music. It is noise, and it is unhelpful to those who hear it. Now he ups the stakes. Then, as now bugles were used in military settings to signal the troops to take designated actions, different melodies represented different orders. Most importantly, one specific melody blasted on the bugle was used to call the army to go to battle. If the bugle just blurts out an indistinct sound, notes in no sensible order, how will the soldiers know what to do? Bugle noise would lead only to confusion, not action. Paul will show in the following verse how this parallels what happens when tongues are spoken in church settings with no interpretation.
Shalom. Let's start by giving all praises, fear, glory, honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Shalom. And peace to you, brothers, and warriors, defenders of the gospel, you know, and the ones that are doing the work of Heavenly Father by following Yahushai sincerely and humbly, and not wanting things of the world or wanting things from men, but actually wanting the spirit from Yahushai. Though it is edifying, I want to bring out Proverbs 26, and I'll start at 1. And this is titled Warnings and Instructions. It says, as snow in summer, and as rain in harvest, so honor is not seemly for a fool. Because true honor is going to be given to the righteous in due season, you see, because the time of the Lord is perfect. But the fools that are demanding their honor from men at this time, it's not seemly for them, because that's actually destroying them. You see, by you having honor, or by you wanting honor from men, and giving honors to men, you know, giving or receiving from men, you're just wasting your time, and you're pulling yourself further away from Yahushai, because the Lord said sit lowly, because when he returns, he's only going to be taking those humble servants, you know. And if you're greedy and you're all about yourself, yeah, you're gonna deceive the multitude to believe that you care about them, but you can't fool the elect, and you can't fool Yahushai, because he sees when no one can see. He can see, even if you guys, you false prophets, even if the false prophets hide in the dark, you see, they don't let no one know what they're doing in the dark, but the Lord actually let it show. He exposes them by their actions. So if you're seeing what guys are really doing and what spirit are they in, you're gonna know that the Lord is not with them. Go ahead, bro.
That's right. And, we're a part of the exposing. We're a part of the light. We're with the light. And, going into the menorah, the 7 candlesticks upon the altar, is the election with the angels. And so we're a part of basically crashing the party and showing Israel their sins that they seek so... They try so hard to hide. And, the way the Lord keeps you lowly is that he's going to take things away from you that's not for your benefit. That's not going to keep you humble. He's going to give you a thorn in the flesh like he did Paul. He's going to do certain things in your life that's going to keep you down so you won't get destroyed with the proud and arrogant. Because when you can run the fastest, when you can jump the highest, when you can rap the best, when you can do things in the flesh and social media, like, and get followers and subscribers and likes, like, millions and thousands, what that does is it does something to you where you think that you're so cool, you're like the best ever, like no one can tell you nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get so proud and, like, you're not able to hear the rebuke of the wise, because the wisdom is with the lowly, the Lord's honor of the lowly. And the poor man's wisdom is despised. And that's what we have. We're poor men with the wisdom of the Lord. Not necessarily that we're fucking homeless and bums, no. But, we're not extravagant and flashy. Like, when you go to 2nd Ezra 16, the Lord said, the more they deck themselves in their houses, meaning, like, get more stuff in the flesh to make them more comfortable and look good and feel better here and comfortable and pleasure, the more the Lord's going to be angry with them. And my first piece up, I'm gonna get right here, because I was listening to a bunch of these camps, and I realized a certain trend with them all, and it was like a fucking just parrot like frequency. And if you buzz in the spirit, you can realize this too. And that's why it's hard for us to even, like, watch any other camp. That's why we don't watch any camps. If we do, is just to see what the hell they're talking about now, because you guys are wicked and you're waxing worse and worse. So we have to be aware of men, and we have to watch out for these wolves and their tactics and what they're planning and how they're trying to deceive and how they're perverting our Lord's gospel that we're defending now. This is Revelation 14:3, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the 4 beasts and the elders. And no man can learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth, right? And we've been bought with that price of Yahushua's blood, his life. And we repay him by giving him our lives. Now, if you notice it, I'm gonna try to do my best. I showed the brother earlier, but the way they bring out the scriptures, they'll say it like this. They'll go, 1 Peter's 1 and 2. It's like they're whining. Yep. They don't know if they're what they're saying is true. They're what's that word? It's hard to explain, but, like, they're not sure of themselves. Yeah. Like, they're not positive of what they're saying and reading is true and real and right. Like, they're looking around like, did I read it right, or did I say it? Did I break it down right? Like, they don't have the spirit. Yeah. They don't have that song. Matter of fact, let me get this word for a song real quick. They sung a new song.
Strong's G 5603. O'Day.
It says a song, composition. All right, and right, and composition is a work of art. So it's a specific kind of work and a specific kind of tune. Yep. Like, just like with, like, carnal people, when people can't sing, you realize it, like, right away. But when someone can sing, you notice it right away. It's like there's no shadow with that, And the Lord, he's given his men certain talents and gifts where he's not turning from it, Go ahead.
Let me get this Jeremiah 2.
But it's like they're parrots. It's like, it's like the spirit's not there. Like, it's like a robot, like a pretending fake. Because a parrot is an animal. It's like a puppet. It's right. A parrot, they can say people's language, like English, but they don't understand what they're saying.
Right.
So they're like a parrot, bro. Like, and we always use that example of like, oh, there's certain levels of wisdom where like, you know, your first level is like a parrot, like you're mimicking, right, the schoolmasters, and then there comes a point where you're like you're an owl, and then, you know what I'm saying? But guys are on this level, like there's no growth in them, you see? They're like in a sunken place. So a lot of these like false apostles and false leaders that causing our people to error, they have that get out spirit of Esau where like they have him in a sunken place and they're using like hypnotism to keep him fucking, you know, bound in their own body, but a slave to other men. It's crazy. Go ahead.
Come on. And see, the thing is, it's like they're worried about something. It's like, you know, they don't have the comforter.
They're second guessing the Lord. Yeah. They're second guessing the Lord. They're doubting. And Lord said, he that doubteth when he eats is damned. So guys are damned when they're taking part of the Lord's Supper and of this meat, this word.
Right, because see, the Lord said He's gonna send us the Comforter. So, hey, the Comforter, that's exactly what it is. When you have the Spirit, you know, you feel comfortable with it.
Right.
You embrace it. You don't actually try to be something that you're not. You know, you're like,
right.
You know, try to be like another man. You know, try to be like the elder.
You can be your own man.
No, you gotta be yourself.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, you can esteem a true brother better than yourself, but you still gotta be yourself. What talent did the Lord give you? You know, because see, you can see and you can explain things in a different way, and it's gonna feed the sheep. You know, and it's the same doctrine, it's the same word of the Lord, but the breakdown is not the same breakdown. You know, it's spiritually, because you have the Comforter, so the Lord actually allows you to receive like the Spirit and a different breakdown, not just the same thing. Like these major camps, they only focus on the hot topics. But what is the elder talking about? You know, and
vocab and
exactly.
Woman.
A true elder is not going to be setting up hot topics like, oh, you talk about this because I spoke about it, and give me honors while you're at it. You know, no, the Spirit of the Lord is where you actually are free. You know, you're not worried about, oh, am I gonna get kicked out?
Can I bring this out? Can I say this? You see, and you know, another way, you know, these guys, like the way they're teaching the word in that certain like frequency, that like negative like sunken frequency, is that like the way they're bringing out the scriptures, like they're second guessing the Lord. Like they don't trust the Lord, and the Lord said anyone that doesn't trust the Lord is cursed. Cursed he that puts his trust in man. And that's what these guys have done. They're causing other followers to basically put their trust in elders and camp heads and shit. So that's why they're in that, they're sounding the trumpet unknowingly. You know, they're sounding an uncertain trumpet, like it's in Corinthians. And you can tell that they don't trust the Lord, and that's why they teach like that, like it's like that's a certain like frequency that they're bringing out. It's crazy, like, and it's all the camps like have that certain like vibe, man. It's just crazy, man. But go ahead.
Come on, let me get a precept here. It says Galatians 5:22 says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. So keep in mind, see, the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, you know, and that goes also with charity. So if you don't have true charity, you don't really love your brother. You know, you only love yourself. And a lot of guys, they only love themselves. They can be in a big multitude, you know. That doesn't mean that they love your brother. That doesn't mean that they love the true man of the Lord. They're just in a big multitude, and honestly, they just love themselves. All they're worried about is just being kicked out of synagogues. That's it. You see, because they think that's gonna save them, but they deceive themselves. See, the Lord actually lets these men be deceived, you know, because what they're doing is it's not of the Lord. It's actually of the world. You see, I'm in this gang, and
Right. If you're not in my gang, then you don't matter. You don't exist. That's how they move, man. Like, just like the gang. See, they just have a covering of like fringes and, oh, I know this, I know the bombs, I know the nuclear missiles, I know the RFID chip, I know the name of the Lord. But like I said earlier, it's like a parrot. They're just saying these words, but they don't mean it, and they don't understand what they're really saying. Like it says in the scripture, it says, desiring to be teachers of the law, not understanding what they affirm or what they teach. So they don't even understand what they're teaching when they teach and they bring out the law. Like I saw this video. I got precepts here, but I saw this video. One of these elders, he's basically doing a video on hyperinflation and is inflation coming to America. See, like, the topics that they talk about is of the world: inflation, money crisis, the silver and gold, woman. These are all carnal topics and carnal things that Yahushua wasn't given that much time to. Like, the brother showed me a clip going into how basically time was money in this movie. And, the more time you had was basically the more money you had. So it shows you how valuable time is. And you have to redeem the times, and you have to redeem the days. It's like you have to redeem the time because the days are evil in these times. And let me read this. Romans 4:15. Because the law worketh wrath, for where no law is, there is no transgression. So just like the Tazamach brought out in Galatians, against whom there is no law. So there's no law against us. We're not under the law. We're under Yahushua, our head. So where no law is, there is no transgression. So Yahushua came to take away the law, to overcome the law, because the law condemns, the law kills, the law judges. You see, but Yahushua, he came to save, to save us to save us from sin, which sin is death. And guys don't really understand how important that is. They put things of like what the camp says more important than what Yahushua did and says. And this is a stumbling block of many of you guys' iniquity. And guys ain't repenting. Guys ain't turning back to the Lord, because everything is just going on and on and on normal. But once shit really gets bad, then people gonna realize, like, there was a prophet among them and they despised us. They hated us. They rejected what we had to say. And they acted like we didn't matter. But see, that's a good thing, because that proves that we are men of the Lord. Because that's what Yahushua said. And all throughout the prophecies, guys love bringing out prophecy. Oh, teach prophecy, talk prophecies. That's prophecy, man. That the Lord would send the apostles last as it were pointed to death. Men trying to take our lives, take our place. They're trying to stop our mouths and destroy us, because we're speaking the truth, and we're actually like exposing them and all their hidden talents and hidden wickedness, man.
Come on. I got a precept. This is 2nd Ezra's. What is this? 2nd Ezra's 4 and verse 30. I'll start at verse 31. It says, ponder now by thyself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed hath brought forth. And see, the thing is, when the Lord talks about that parable of the vineyard, the enemy had planted wicked seeds. It goes into these false prophets bringing wicked seeds, and talking about Esau all day, and not rebuking our people.
And women, they talk about women all day too.
Women all day, and these presidents. So the thing is, see, they don't bring out Yahushua, because by them bringing more Esau, and like they like to say, like, the wicked is only Esau. How about the wicked of our people, the false prophets? You see, the ones that they know the law, but they don't do it. They're all about the talk. And it's like it's like it doesn't exist for them, because they don't bring it out. And when you look at this precept I just brought out, that we're in a time that the wicked of our people is the worst time right now. It's the worst and it's grown so much, worse than our forefathers when they kill Yahushua. See, these false prophets are back here today, and they're actually worse.
They're on top. They're on top.
Yep.
They're great.
Let me come to verse 31. It says, "And when the ears shall be cut down, which are without number, how great a floor shall they fill? Then I answered and said, How and when shall these things come to pass? Wherefore are our years few and evil? And he answered me, saying, Do not thou hasten above the most highest, for thy haste is in vain to be above him, for thou hast much exceeded. Did not the souls also of the righteous ask questions of these things in their chambers?"
Right, so we're questioning, man. Just like an investigator, he questions.
Right.
The ones that are showing signs of being the murderers and the ones guilty. We're questioning you guys, man, and you guys have no answer, because you know that your answers are all divided and it's all a lie, because your foundation isn't Yahushua. And guys like to act like you were saying that point earlier about the law. They like to act like the law has no power over them, but it does, because they have denied Yahushua. So when you deny Yahushua and Yahushua doesn't choose you to approach him, then guess what? You're under the law. You're under the curse. You see, guys are under the curse, man. Because the Lord said, if you don't keep all these laws and you offend in just one, then you're guilty of all. And that's why Yahushua was so important to be able to get back to the Heavenly Father. He is that bridge, not man, not elders that claim to be, that deceitfully act like they are, but they're not. They can't get you to Yahushua. They can't even get themselves to Yahushua. That's why they're thieves, man. They're not able to get to the door. They're not able to come to the door, and they're stopping others that are trying to get to the door. Like, no, don't go through there, because they can't get in there. So that's what's happening right now. Let me read this. This is Psalms 18 and 17 says, He delivered me from my strong enemy and from them which hated me, for they were too strong for me. Says that they prevented me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my stay. He brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me, you see. And our enemies, they are strong. They're great, right? They're exalted. Everyone listens to them and accepts what they have to say because they have accepted persons, But the Lord, he's going to do some mighty acts and miracles to show who he's really with. He's with us. He's with the few of us that are kept in the dark, and because we're symbolically with like what's happening with our channel and all this and the third is like, it's like we're being thrown into prisons, But these guys that talk about worldly topics like woman, inflation, money, gold, silver, celebrities and shit. Oh, I know this famous guy. I know that famous guy. The Lord don't care about that. See, Yahushua was never in that spirit. Like, oh, I know him. I know that. I know him. I know that. No, he wasn't in that spirit. But see, these guys, these elders are in that spirit, man. And then they have their followers in a spirit of like teaching the word like this. Romans 4:4. Don't even know what the hell's going on. Then looking at everybody like, oh, can I break it down? Did I break it down right? What's going on? Like just chickens without a head. It's crazy. It's really crazy like that. But that's what happens when you follow man. You trust man instead of following Yahushua, following the Spirit, and trusting in the Lord. That's what happens. You get brought up in the wrong way, and you don't grow right. You don't grow right. The Lord said, "Blessed are those that are planted in the Lord." The guys have been planted with the enemy, like the brother said. While they slept, the enemy sowed his seed. So they put you to sleep. They put you to rest. They say shalom, shalom, but there is no peace. And while you're sleeping, when you're not aware, guess what they do in the night? They sow them wicked seeds. See, they're not like we have Yahushua, right? So every seed that we plant is of Yahushua. You see? And if it's of the Lord, he'll give the increase. But guys, they have a seed of the devil, man, of Satan. So what they sow is like wickedness into your mind. Oh yeah, the woman, rape, woman. You know. Going out. And I was gonna say this too. I'm gonna put in the video, but during the time of the wilderness, you had our people go whoring after the heathen woman, and basically the to summarize the story of what happened was that Balaam and Balak understood that there was basically no way for them to defeat them or curse them. So what they did was they devised a plan where they was gonna send their most beautifulest daughters to the men of Israel. And basically, the woman was basically said, okay, if you want us to be married and have sex with us, then guess what? You have to basically serve our gods. And it was a big snare for Israel. You know, and then that's when you had Phineas. He stood up and he slew one of them in his tent with the heathen woman. He slew them both there. You know, because they forsook the God's law. They forsook sacrifice to our one and only true power. And they served the heathen woman's gods, and that's what made them weaker. And that's the only way they could have able to defeat us. You know what I'm saying? So they send women that look good on the outside, but in the spirit, they're not good for you. They're not really for you. They're really against you. They're your enemy.
Come on, I got a precept.
Go ahead out.
Jeremiah 2, I start at verse 19. Says, "Thy own wickedness shall correct thee, and thy backsliding shall reprove thee. Know therefore and see that it is an evil thing and bitter that thou hast forsaken the Lord thy power, and that my fear is not in thee. Saith the Lord, power of hosts, for of old time I have broken thy yoke and burst thy bands, and thou sayest, I will not transgress, when upon every high hill and under every green tree thou wanderest, playing the harlot. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine."
And real quick, because a harlot, when you play a harlot, what does a harlot do? The whole purpose of a harlot is using their body to get money.
Throwing themselves at
strangers,
right?
People that don't really know, just to get fucking money.
To please others.
Right. Defiling yourself to get money. And that's a really, really, the Lord don't like that. The Lord really doesn't like that. All that whoredom and prostitution and shit and harlotry. He does not like that shit. And he even said in the law about the Levites, the priests, because Lord, he's making us a nation of kings and priests. So we can't just take any raggedy chick off the street and make her our woman. But anyways, in the law it said that they were not allowed to take a harlot to wife. You know, only a virgin of their own tribe and nation. You know, but shit has changed, man. But now you got elder apostles saying, yeah, I'm gonna use the tithe money for a prostitute. You know, flaunting themselves, doing as I will with what with the people's money. That's Satanism, man. That's adverse to Yahushua. Yahushua was not spirit. See, you always have to go back to the chief counselor, Yahushua. Would Yahushua do it? Would Yahushua stand by this shit? And there's your answer, bro.
Right. Verse 21, it says, "Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, holy, a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?" See, and the Lord, he had mercy, you know, to show us the light, but and give us that seed. But then it's our responsibility to grow that seed, keep watering it, you know.
Water each other, give it sun. Yeah, you need to get it with light. Like even when you plant stuff indoors, you need like a special light so that can grow.
Verse 22, for though thou wash thee with nitre, and take thee much soap, yet thy iniquity is marked before me, saith the Lord Yahweh Shai. How canst thou say, I am not polluted? I have not gone after Baalim. See thy way in the valley. Know what thou hast done. Thou art a swift dromedary traversing her ways. I mean, that thing that's goes into harlots.
Yeah, and look, just basically what Jeremiah is saying is, look at how you've been moving in the valley. Look how you've been going about.
Wasting the time.
Right. Guys haven't been walking in the straight gate. They've been in the broad gate where the multitudes are, where many is. You know, they're with the many in death. They're walking towards their demise. Let me read this.
Salaki, let me get the word from.
You got it.
For dromedary.
I think it's kind of like fruit or something.
I think it's
not the fruit. It's not the fruit of the spirit.
It's a harlot, I think. Let me see. A young female camel. What else? Let me get the root word. Let me see, Salakia.
What does that mean? It's an animal.
It seems like an animal, yeah, but
yeah,
it's a spiritual thing here.
Brute beast. Let me read this. Luke 16 and verse 29. It says, Abraham saith unto him, they have, matter of fact, let me start verse 25, because it's going into the parable of Lazarus, which is heavy.
Ooh, wait a minute. I got it. I got it. The word. It says in spirit. It says right here. The word dromedary, right? It says also translated as she camel, was known to be unreliable and easily disturbed.
Ooh, guys, right? Yeah. That's how they teach the word. They're disturbed. Like something's like they're not comforted by it. They're disturbed. Like it's a disturbance. Like they're teaching it but unwillingly. Like, yeah, I'll read it. Luke 16:24. Like, bro, the crazy thing, they don't even teach the scripture, the gospel. Right. Like they'll bring out, Amos 8:11, and there shall be a famine of the word. There shall be eating up like, but they never bring out the gospel though, man. Read that again, bro.
Yep. It says
unworthy,
unreliable.
Right, guys are unreliable. You can't rely on these people, man.
Easily disturbed.
That's the main point. They're unreliable. That's what you guys are. You're unreliable. You're untrustworthy. And the Lord said, if you couldn't be trustworthy with a little, the mammon of the world, then how you think the Lord's gonna trust you with the true mammon of the Heavenly Father of the kingdom, gold and silver? Exactly. He's not. Let me read this parable, man. Luke 16 and verse 22. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. And in hell he lift up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of a finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime received thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. And beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence. Then he said, I pray thee therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house. So see, once the rich are really getting judged, then they want to get right. Then they want the true prophet sent to them. But when they're proud, when they're the greatest, when they have all subscribers and likes and fame, and they're blind and deaf of hearing, they want no parts of the one that's truly sent to the Lord. But once they're in hell, once they're in, die, then they want it. But it's too late. Like that, they ran out of time at that point. That's right. It says, Abraham saith unto them, they have Moses and the prophets, let them hear them. And he said, Nay, Father Abraham, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent. And he said unto him, if they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead. And that one that rose from the dead was Yahushai. So there's certain men in these times and days that will not be persuaded. We cannot persuade. So that we're not in a time of like debating and going back and forth. Everyone has basically chosen what they've wanted. And many of you have chosen death. And death you shall reap. Go ahead.
On. Jeremiah 2, and let me continue from verse 26. It says, as the thief is ashamed when he is found, so is the house of Israel ashamed. They, their kings, their princes, their priests, and their prophets.
Beautiful. See?
So
not Esau, not the woman, the priests, the prophets, right. The kings. They're ashamed because they're like a thief. They stole from the Lord his talent, his money, and then misused it. They didn't increase it. They like, just like with, all right, you get $100, right? You can either save it or do something with it where you can get a little bit more money, preserve it for a rainy day, whatever, or you can use that money right away, and it might satisfy you for a couple minutes or a day, and then that's it. And that's what they've done with Lord's money. Like, they wasted it. You see, they sold it. Like, oh, here, I'm gonna give you this. What I want is like that sellout in Matrix. What's his name, man? Cypher, man.
They want to be
Cypher.
famous, like an actor.
Cypher.
Yeah.
They on that Cypher tip.
They want to be like famous, so they want to. They're gonna say yes to Satan because they want to be comfortable in this place so bad. So even by them knowing that it's not gonna be forever and it's a crumb, it's nothing compared to the reward of Yahweh Shai for the righteous men. They don't care. They just want the crumb now,
right now,
because they're desperate, and like I said, they're
that's why they
easily disturbed and they
unreliable.
And unreliable means that, like you said, you can't rely on them because they're not sturdy.
They're not strong and sturdy. They're not unmovable and abounding in the work of the Lord. They're like moving around anywhere. They're shaky.
They're dry fig tree.
Dry
fig tree. The Lord, he dried that fig tree because that fig tree was unreliable. He was relying on the fruit. He was like, "What the hell?
There was no fruit.
There's only leaves here. What the hell?" And then he just,
Check this out. Ephesians 4:14, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro. They're still children, still immature.
Right.
And carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men, and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. You see? Cunning craftiness, the sleight of men. Let me get that word for sleight. Go down.
Come on, let me finish this one. Matthew 2 and verse 27, saying to a stalk, "Thou art my father," and to a stone, "Thou hast brought me forth." You see that?
Great millstone. Woo! You can't make this up, man. That's a spirit, bro. That's a spirit.
They this is what they say, right?
Oh, man.
It says they say to a stalk, "Thou art my father," and to a stone, "Thou hast brought me forth." You see?
Something that's just something that doesn't move, doesn't talk, doesn't reveal secrets, doesn't have mystery of the gospel. Just damn, bro, that's heavy.
For they have turned their back unto me, and not their face. But in the time of their trouble, they will say, "Arise and save us." See, in the time of their trouble, just like that's why he is comparing it to thieves that are ashamed when they're found, because when they're not found, they continue stealing, and robbing.
Because when they're not found, they have it. So they're acting like, "Oh yeah, I got this. Right. Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah, I labored for this." Right. But once the judge comes, once those that can see what they've done was a crime, was a sin, then they're ashamed. And that's what's happening right now in the end. They're ashamed of the gospel. They're ashamed of the Lord and the gospel, man.
And it says verse 28, Salakia. But where are thy gods that thou hast made thee? Right. Let them arise if they can save thee in the time of trouble. For according to the number of thy cities are thy gods, O Judah. Wherefore will ye plead with me? Yea, all have transgressed against me, said the Lord. In vain have I smitten your children. They receive no correction. Right. Your own sword hath devoured your prophets like a destroying lion. Beautiful. O generation, see ye the word of the Lord. Have I been a wilderness unto Israel, a land of darkness? Wherefore say my people, we are lords, we will come no more unto thee. Can a maid forget her ornaments, or a bride her attire? Yet my people have forgotten me days without number. Right. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. And you see, they're trimming the ways to seek love. And love is charity, right? The love is feeding the sheep. So if you're trimming love, you're trimming the labors that the Lord is requiring you to do. You know, feeding the sheep sincerely, they're trimming all that. And
right, and love, what like Yahushua said, he's the one that taught love the best. Love, the greatest act of love is laying down your life for your brother. So what love really is actually you giving up everything that you have so that someone else can have a chance to live. You know, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about real living, like life, like the life of Yahushua in the spirit, lively stones, right? So love is actually like selflessness, is doing things for other people and not doing things for yourself. And guys do not have the love of God in them. Now, this word for slight in Ephesians 4:14, the slight of men, this word slight, it goes into metaphorically the deception of men, because dice players sometimes cheated and defrauded their fellow players, you see? And that's what guys are doing. They're defrauding. They're you know, acting like they got the victory of the Lord, but they don't. They're against the Lord. Right. They're enemy of the Lord, and they're thieves, man. What they have, the knowledge they have that they stole from the Lord in the Bible, they're misusing it. You see, just like they misuse the prophets. Like the brother brought that out. They're destroying lying, right? And the sword that they have, they use to kill the prophets. Right. You see,
devoured the prophets. So let me get the note for that precept. Actually, it's right here. Says Yahweh Shemashai describes Israel as a bride who forgot her wedding attire, the jewelry and sash that marked her as being married. Israel has become so accomplished at her harlotry that she teaches the wicked woman her ways. You see, so
they show the wicked some new things, like,
right? You know, like in when a woman is married, right? She has a ring, right? Yeah. And she's not hiding it because she's not ashamed. Right. But when she goes somewhere, you know, and she plans to commit adultery, she takes that ring off, and that ring represents the covenant. So by you saying you're not in the covenant, that's a form of you hiding that ring, taking up that ring, you know, breaking up.
Right, and the Lord said he's going to liken his judgment unto a ring. You see, exactly. So we have that ring, you know, Lord of the Rings. You know, but yeah, we have that ring. We're engaged with Yahushua. We're engaged. Paul said he has espoused us to one husband as a chaste virgin. So the Lord, he loves those that he chastises. So yeah, we're chastised. We're being chastised, right. Lord.
And when men try to make us follow their ways and make us give them honors, and you know what do? We show the ring. You know, we're married. You know, get out of here.
We ain't with you. We against you, man. We're with the Lord, man. You see, those that are with the Lord are called, faithful, and chosen. So we're gonna be doing things that the ones that are not chosen just can't do. You know, we're not gonna be teaching these scriptures like Romans 1:12. That's how you guys talk, man. There's something wrong with you guys, man. And see, look, you need this rebuke. You need this rebuke, man. Y'all be fake as hell, man. There's too many fakes, and there's only a few real out here. We can probably close out. We got the point across, man. That was heavy, bro. That was heavy, man.
Right, and see, the Lord said, whoever shall be the greatest one amongst you, right, shall be your minister. So it's not about being great and saying that you're great, but esteeming the other, your true brother better than yourself, because you're gonna be sharpened that way. You gotta understand that there's room for improvement. You know, you can never go far enough for the Lord.
That's right.
So when you sharpen each other, you're constantly growing, and you're constantly bringing fruits. You know, because there's no limit. When you're free, there's no limit. It's like, oh, you can only bring out this much information or this much lessons, or make sure your videos is this long. You know, that's like putting a limit onto the spirit, and you can't do that.
You can't do that.
That's not a free spirit.
There's no boundary with the spirit. You can do anything. You can do what man can't do. Let me read this out. Numbers 25 and verse 5. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one his men that were joined unto Baal Peor. You see? And that's what we're doing now through the Spirit now. Because the weapons of warfare aren't carnal. We're not carnally doing this, but we're doing it spiritually. We're cutting them. We're slaying the wicked by the mouth of the Lord, the mouth of the prophets. It says, and behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses, and in the sight of all congregation of children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. So they're trying to make Moses and the judges pity them by crying and
Right.
Nah, man. It says, and when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. You see? So he rose up. See, the men of the Lord are rising up to the prey, to the wicked, to slay, to cut them down, because they're those trees, like John the Baptist said, the axe is now laid to every tree. If a tree doesn't bring forth fruit, it's hewn down and cast to the fire. We're that axe. We are that axe. Says, and he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. Right? This man of the Lord, Phinehas, he wasn't in the spirit like, oh, I'm going to kill him and I'm going to take that bitch. I'm going to take that woman. No, bro. No. Just like with Amalek. The Samuel told Saul, kill all Amalek. Saul didn't do that. He brought the king back. He brought some of the spoils back. No, slay all of them. And check this out, because after Phinehas rose up and judged and stopped this plague, because there was a plague going on with our people in their mind. They was going after all these women's gods and worshiping them and forsaking the God of our forefathers. That was keeping them strong and winning all their battles for them. Let me read this. It says, and those that died in the plague were 24,000, right? 24,000, man. And I'm going to say this. When you keep reading here in Numbers, after this happened, then we went to war with the Midianites. And what happened was we destroyed all the Midianites. And you know what the Lord said? He said, spare all the virgins. And guess what? Like almost 32,000 virgins were spared, and the men got the virgins. So good things come to those who wait and trust on the Lord and do it how he wants to do it. Not how man wants to do it or the flesh wants to do it. You see what I'm saying? So all these Midianitish women and these Moabite women and these heathen women that were turning our men's heart away from the Lord and serving their gods, they were whores. They looked on the outside, but they was defiled, and they were defiling our men. And when we went to war, and then they eventually got the virgins, right? It wasn't like that at that point. Now they were able to be concubines, and they wouldn't turn their heart away from the Lord. You see what I'm saying? There's certain women, like a wicked woman is given to a wicked man, but they'll turn your heart away from serving your God. They'll make it so that you're serving them. So God's not gonna do that for his righteous men, but he's doing that for a lot of you wicked guys out there. I can tell you that, man. I can tell you that. That's why guys are all messed up. Go ahead.
Let me get my closing precept.
Yeah.
This is a parable here. Luke 12, verse 16 says, and he spoke a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully, and he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits? And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink,
real quick,
and be merry.
The Lord said he's not well pleased with those that are at ease in Zion, man. He's not happy with those that are at ease. Go ahead.
Right.
Guys don't want confrontation. They don't want to go through nothing. They don't want to stand up against anything.
It says, but Yahweh Shemashai saith unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee.
That's right.
Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up treasure for himself, and is not rich toward Yahweh Shemashai.
That's right.
And he said unto his disciples, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, neither for the body what ye shall put on. The life is more than meat, and the body is more than raiment. Consider the ravens, for they neither sow, reap, which neither have storehouses nor barn. So the point is, the life is more than meat, and the body is more than remnant, because the life in the body that the Lord is dealing with is the ones that are the one body, in Yahushai.
Those ones, the ones living for the Lord.
Right. And see, the Lord, he's not pleased with men that stack treasures for themselves, because that's what Saul did. That was the whole thing about the house of Saul.
Yeah, and then these fucking Pharisees and Sadducees and elders and chief priests, they were all about themselves, keeping the money, all the gold, all the precious things to themselves, and not really caring about the people, man. They were just acting and faking it. But see, our people love to have it so. Like it says in Jeremiah, our people love to have it so. These corrupt, wicked, false ones ruling over them. Like when you go to the book of Acts, where we talk about that Bar Jesus guy, that he was a great sorcerer, and all the people thought he was a great one. So our people, they're very easily deceived. They're very easily allured the wrong way, because of these strong drinks that these false prophets make them drink. They make them drink a drink to make them forget who they are and who's real and who's fake. And it's woe to you guys. Woe to you that gives his neighbor a strong drink to look upon their nakedness. So guys, they like looking upon our people's nakedness, meaning that they're not covered in the blood of Yahushai. They're just naked out there, have no cover, have no defense from these wolves to come in and pollute them and just take the spoil, take the booty. This is war, bro.
That's all I got for now.
Hey, so Lord willing, you brothers edified. You brothers stay strong and, keep your eye on Yahushai. The time is nigh. And keep praying for a few days, because Lord is definitely shortening it for us so we can get the hell out of here, man. There's no plan B, no backup plan. There's only one thing, and that's just trusting the Lord and like you said, praying for a few days. The kingdom's already prepared. He just said to watch, so he's got to keep on watching and keep being aware of what's happening, and just keep trusting the Lord, man. It's not rocket science. It's not our carnal thing. It's just pure trusting in the Lord that he's going to catch us when we fall, or when, shit gets really rough. All praises, glory, honor, and fear Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Hey, Shalom.
Shalom. Ababa Ball.